It's been about 8 months since I installed the 4th generation Nest learning thermostat, and honestly, it's been a mostly positive experience. The new model supports Matter, which is a big deal if you're trying to keep your smart home as flexible as possible. Whether you use Apple Home, Google Home, or any other home assistant that supports Matter, it integrates pretty cleanly. When you purchase this thing, it includes a temperature sensor out of the box, and you can pick up a 3-pack if you want more. In theory, these help give you a better picture of your home's total temperature overall, not just the room that the thermostat is in. You can average readings, set specific sensors to take priority at different times of the day while you're scheduling, or ignore them entirely if that's what you want to do. It's a great way for you to get and have a bigger picture of your home's temperature in its entirety, and it really is something that is useful to me anyway. One frustrating thing that I have found in my 8 or so months of use is that if you're using the temperature sensors to make energy efficiency decisions on your part, especially in a multi-level home, you might run into some issues like I did. In my setup, I have the thermostat upstairs and the sensor is downstairs. That becomes a problem in the summer months for me because the basement always stays a lot cooler in the evenings compared to the upstairs. If I let both the sensor and the thermostat contribute to when the system should run, I think the thermostat ends up averaging those readings and decides that the house is fine. Meanwhile, it's way too hot upstairs and I'm sweating my balls off. From what I can tell, the thermostat is using a mixed input from both itself and the sensor to determine whether the house is cool enough or not. And it's making those energy decisions at the expense of comfort for us in the home. It's trying to be smart and efficient, but that can leave you sweating through the summer evenings if you're not careful. I will say it did a fantastic job in the winter months, keeping the home warm enough to where it wasn't uncomfortable at all, and I didn't run into any issues where I had to intervene like I had to in the summer. For the summer though, there is a way to work around this in the Google Home app. I figured that out just by trial and error, and you can set up a different schedule with different sensors for each block of time. So during the day, I have it use both of the upstairs thermostat sensor and the downstairs sensor to help balance my system. But in the evenings, I've created another schedule that I use just the upstairs thermostat sensor for input. That way the AC responds to the area that is the most in need during the hottest part of the day here in Utah. If you're thinking about picking up extra sensors, my advice is to stick with just the one that came in the box with the thermostat. Once you start averaging multiple sensors with different temperature profiles, especially across floors, it can throw off your comfort levels pretty quickly. The whole system becomes less about how you feel and more about how, what the algorithm thinks efficient looks like. From my perspective, or from my experience, is just looking to add some leaves to your profile. That brings me to the smart scheduling feature. This is where the Nest really does its thing and it stands out in my experience. It learns from your preferred temperatures throughout the day and uses that to adjust automatically. You can enable the adaptive comfort and adaptive eco temps as well. I would say that this all works pretty great in the 8 or so months that I've had this thing in the usage that I've experienced. It did take some time to adjust to what it thought the adaptive comfort and eco temperatures should be based on how my family moves throughout the house during the weekday and the weekend. I think, not having nobody home during the weekday and the weekends, everybody's moving about. It took a little bit of time to gauge that information, but as soon as it did, I think it did a pretty good job at adjusting what it thought my temperatures should be based on what efficiency looks like. That kind of adaptive behavior is exactly why you would want to buy this thermostat in the first place. You do get options though, and one thing that I value is the ability to disable all those smart features. And I don't know why you would buy this thermostat if you were going to do that, but you can if you want to. You can disable the smart schedule or set it to a suggestion mode where it asks you before it makes any changes to your schedule. I did try this out and I was like, no, I don't like that, or yes, I like that, go ahead and make those changes, and that was extremely helpful for my part. The one thing with that, if you have multiple people living in your home, kids per se, your kids could completely wreck your schedule in one weekend because they're not happy with the comfort level in your house. With that, you can reset all of those informations, and the bigger question there becomes, why are your kids touching the thermostat?
Who touched your thermostat?
God, how does he always know?
Brain implant, Meg. Every father's got one. Tells you when the children are messing with the dial. Hey, Peter, my thing went off. Your thermostat okay?
Yeah, it's all right.
Hey, is my kid over here?
Forget it, false alarm.
There are also visual cues to show you when you're saving energy, like the little green Nest leaf, and it logs this in the energy dashboard. You get monthly reports emailed to you as you earn more leaves by using the eco-friendly features like Early On or Airwave, which turns off the system's compressor early and uses the fan to circulate the leftover cool air within your air ducts. I love this because it blows all of that residual cold air into the home that you have essentially paid to cool or warm, because it does it in the cool months as well. It's like squeezing the tube of toothpaste to its very last end, ensuring that every last bit of that stuff that you paid for is used up in an automatic way. Let's get into the unboxing experience of the Nest Learning Thermostat. One difference or one change that I really enjoy or appreciate is that they are now including a temperature sensor. You used to have to purchase that separately or buy it in a kit. Previous versions of the Nest Learning Thermostat. The unboxing experience is really pleasant. And move that off to the side. Move the thermostat off to the side for a second. And the temperature sensor getting into the packaging itself. Here's the mount that you're going to use to install on your thermostat area, and it looks like some regulatory and product information is also included. Let's see what's also included in here. Looks like it's the faceplate. This faceplate doesn't look like it's a natural or like a full-blown white. It's more of a cream color. I don't know how I feel about that. I wish this would have matched the obsidian color that I purchased with this obsidian colored thermostat, but I guess I'll see how that goes. So this is the wall mount plate, then a mount portion, and then you get all the wall mounting accessories included in the packaging. Okay, so now taking a closer look at the Nest Learning Thermostat, you can see this full screen. It is beautiful. The obsidian color is also very beautiful. There's a nice damp feeling to adjusting it, or you see it's pretty fingerprint prone, but I don't expect you to notice this as it is on the wall. And as you can see around the edge here closely, this little dial here is separate from the screen, but just barely. Taking a closer look at the temperature sensor here, it is very egg-shaped and not white. It's more of a cream color. I don't know if I like that. I wish they would have just gone full-blown white, because you can see the QR code there is actual white. I'm gonna bring in previous generation's temperature sensor here, and we'll compare them. Okay, so here's the previous generation temperature sensor. Very boxy looking. One thing that's really bothering me is the cream color to this. The cream overtone of this temperature sensor is gonna make this thing kind of stand out to where I have it in my basement, because my basement's white like this. So this one's very inconspicuous even with its boxy look. But this one is going to be a completely, well, not completely different color, but a different color enough for me to notice it for where I'm gonna have it. Again, not a huge fan of that, and that's something that I'm just gonna have to deal with, I guess. Google, please shift this to white, and then we're all good. Another pain point for me is this faceplate that they want you to use. You can see the white, so that's the color of my wall. And then they have this cream colored faceplate. I'm gonna have to get on Amazon or eBay or something and try to find something that fits, or I'm gonna take what I've used with this Nest and just use that faceplate to match up with this, because I'm not using this. This off-color white is not, it doesn't match my wall, and it'll be more of an OCD thing that I will not like to look at, especially with a screen like this that you're gonna wanna look at quite frequently. Design-wise, it's definitely the best looking Nest yet. It hides the bezels better than the previous model did, thanks to both the hardware and software refinements that this thing has seen from Google. There's a new feature called Dynamic Farsight that shows you basic information from afar and more detailed information as you walk up to it. And I'd say it's pretty solid, because I sit where I can see it and I haven't any false positives, but it knows exactly when I stand up or when I get close to it, and it shows me the information that I like. The Farsight display is actually one of my favorite features of this thermostat. I've got it set to the weather face, which not only looks great, but gives you live, glanceable information that is genuinely useful. It's not just for looks. You get weather conditions, indoor and outdoor temps, current thermostat setting, and humidity, all laid out in a clean, readable way. It's not just a pretty interface like I was saying, it's a functional feature that adds a bunch of utility. I love being able to walk by and immediately know what the weather's doing or how the house feels at a glance. What makes it even cooler is that the weather face is dynamic and actually mimics the real weather conditions outside. If it's raining, you get soft rain animation in the background. If there's thunder in the forecast, you'll see flashes and stormy visuals. Snowing, yep, it does that as well. Little snowflakes drift around, and that's really useful. It's a subtle touch, but it really adds some life to what could have just been a static display. And good job, Google. Again, mine is set to the weather Farsight face, and I've customized it with 3 of the customizable items in the near view, and you can do this all within the home app, and you can tweak those to show exactly what you care about the most. And that extra layer of at-a-glance context adds a ton of utility to the thermostat. It makes it feel more like a helpful smart display and less like a glorified twisty thing that has a display that's mounted on your wall. That said, this feature's usefulness really depends on where your thermostat is located in your home. In my case, it's in a spot I pass by quite often and on my way out the door. So this is especially useful for when it's pouring rain outside and I get the helpful, hey, grab a jacket reminder, or you're probably going to have to snow blow the driveway before you leave. If it wasn't in the spot that I have it in or where it's in my home on my way out, then this usefulness isn't really useful because, you know, a lot of people's thermostats are in places that are not high traffic areas. So keep that in mind if you're watching this review and wondering if the 4th generation Nest is worth it or is a worthy upgrade for you. This alone is the reason why I upgraded personally, because I wanted this display and this live action information provided to me for my thermostat display. One slightly odd quirk, the screen isn't touchable, so you press it in and make changes, which takes a little bit of getting used to if you've never had a Nest thermostat before. But if you're upgrading from a previous generation, you'll feel right at home because that functionality is the same here. The install on this was a little bit of a ride. I upgraded from a 2nd generation Nest, and I figured it'd be a quick swap. Pop off the old one and then pop on the new one. Done. Nope. The wiring configurations are totally different from between the two, and the mounting plates have changed as well. With this new Nest, there are 2 additional functionality areas on this. It's AQ plus and AQ minus. I'm not an HVAC technician or anything like that, so any of you out there watching this video that know, please let me know what those 2 mean or what they even equal to. One thing that I will talk about is that the reason why you can't take off the old Nest and add it to it is because these 2 additional features on this base plate that have the built-in level, bubble level there at the top, is probably the reason why they can't just be easily swapped out. While I get why Google moved to this new setup here and a different form factor, I really wish that they had just been a direct pop on and pop off type of swap. I know that's probably not practical, and I know there are reasons behind it, but still, I wish it would have been that way. On top of the wiring being different, it caused me some issues. After getting it all configured and wired up, the new Nest sent a bit of too much love to my HVAC system, and it blew my 3A fuse on the board. That kicked off some troubleshooting that I hadn't planned on doing that day. And unfortunately for me, I decided to do this at night during the summer months, so all the hardware stores were closed around me, and I had to wait until the next day to resolve the issues that I caused myself, of course. Just know that it's not as easy as it can seem. Sometimes I think of myself a little bit of a handyman, and if I wasn't able to troubleshoot that, I probably would have had to have called a professional HVAC technician out, and it would have cost me a lot more. Eventually, I got it all sorted out, but it was definitely not a smooth plug-and-play experience that I had with the earlier model. When I installed that thing, it was easy, and I had no issues. So here's the bottom line. If you're not completely confident in wiring up a thermostat, or if the setup looks a little bit off compared to the app's instructions, just call an HVAC professional. It's way better than accidentally frying your entire system and costing you way more than you expected. Now here's something I haven't been thrilled about: moving the thermostat's control over to Google Home. I get and understand why Google wants everything under one roof, but the old Nest app was cleaner and way more intuitive when it came to managing schedules and energy settings. I genuinely miss the Nest app, and I still have it on my phone because I help manage my dad's Nest, or older generation Nest, And it is just so much more intuitive and provides way more information at a glance than the Google Home app. The Nest app is pretty awesome still to this day. Managing temperature zones or seeing energy history, it just feels more natural within the Nest app. And when you go to the Home app, it's just crap. I don't like it. The Home app is bloated and it still feels like it's catching up to even that older app that hasn't seen an update in forever. And one thing, it's extremely easy to delete a device from your home. The option to remove a device shouldn't have such a prominent placement at the bottom of an app in the main settings page. That's just poor and or lazy UI design. Did the thermostat save me money? Maybe. It's hard to say definitively because my home is already so energy efficient and I have solar panels. The real question, at least for me, is was I more comfortable in my home without being surprised by monumental energy bills? If that was the case, then I'd definitely say yes. I will say in my usage, the 4th gen Nest has had my system run less prominently when I needed it, and it has done a good job at minimizing that usage throughout the day. Maybe it's a placebo effect, but I feel like my system runs less. You know, it's hard for me to say, but I feel like that. The airwave lasts a lot longer and it pumps all that cold air that's in my air ducts out throughout the day. I did notice that when coming home, my system didn't kick in immediately like it did with my older gen Nest when that was installed. So I think it's doing more proactive work to keep my home within the range that I've set for the comfort levels while keeping things on the efficient side as well and saving me money. I don't have more or less Nest leafs than I did before. They're roughly about the same. I attribute that to the presence detection. That took a while to gather the inputs it needed, but after it had the information and that it needed and the software updates that it processed, it started working really well. One thing that I do want to share with you, I've disabled tracking within the Google Home app for my thermostat for the precise location. And presence is still working pretty well. I just don't know about having my thermostat know my precise location all the time. Google Home annoyingly sends me notifications on my iPhone telling me to turn on precise location so it can do a better job to manage my home's efficiency. And since turning it off halfway through owning the 4th generation Nest learning thermostat, I haven't noticed a difference in my energy bill, my home's comfort, or anything like that. So if I were to put my tinfoil hat on, I would venture to guess that Google isn't using that location data to make adjustments to my thermostat or prepare my home for my arrival when I'm coming home. It's more so in place to ensure that they can serve me geolocation-based ads. That's me venturing a wild guess without any definitive proof, because I haven't noticed any difference from turning off those precise location tracking ability in Google Home to my home's efficiency and comfort level when it comes to my HVAC system. Bottom line, I do recommend this 4th generation Nest learning thermostat to you if you're on a previous generation of Nest and that Nest is in a high traffic area within your home for Farsight alone. That feature has been an awesome update to my home. That said, if you're on an older generation Nest and it isn't in a high traffic area, don't upgrade because it's not going to add anything additional to your home that's worth the install hassle that you could possibly experience or the money it will cost you. I will close by saying it's beautifully designed, it's smart in all the right ways for me, and it works practically with any platform now thanks to Matter. The learning features, the sensor support, and the convenience of automation make it a pretty awesome buy, even if I get physically angry every time I have to open the Home app because it's just terrible. If you're interested in pricing and availability, I will leave my affiliate link in the description of the video and feel free to check it out. Want to purchase through there, that helps support content creation here on this channel, and thanks a ton in advance if you do that. Before I close, I have nothing to disclose. I bought this Nest learning thermostat with my own hard-earned cash thanks to the support that you guys provide by watching, sharing, and liking my videos here on this platform. Thanks again for everything. Well, that about does it for me in this one. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I'm Tomas, and I will catch you in the next one.